Well, back to focusing on getting a solution to the challenge we face with the Niger Delta. And we're joined this morning by Fred Oghenesivbe, who is the South-South Media Director for Grassroots Mobilizers. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.
Well, we've had different meetings, different groups, nominating persons, different ones too, to see how they can take their message to the authorities on the table.
Yeah.
But then, in spite of all of those, there's still speculation or rumors or word out there about pipeline vandalism here and there. In spite of all that is going on, do you think that dialogue with different groups now, as they've popped up, will actually kickstart the beginning of the end of agitation in the Delta?
Yes. I've always said that peace is cheaper than war. And I think the Minister for Petroleum and MD of NNPC has just keyed into this program of dialogue. He was in Delta yesterday, Asaba yesterday, to have a stakeholders meeting with the people, with the Ijos and the Shekiris in that axis, and the Okerekoko people on how they can meet with the, Avengers on how to end this problem. But the problem in the Niger Delta is principally that of exploitation, which has started many years back. Oil was discovered in 1958 at Loribiri, 1956 by BP, then 1958 at Ogoni, right? Now, if you take your cameras now, you go to Ogoni right now, and you go to Loribiri right now, you weep for the people. They've sucked those oil dry. Loribiri has been dry for many years now. Just go and see the kind of life those people are living. You won't believe that oil was taken from that community some years back. They did that to the Ogonis. They flagged off Ogonis, cleaned up. It's going to take 30 years to clean. They flagged it off, I think, about 2 weeks back. There is no work going on right there. If you go through today's papers, you will see the people already calling the federal government to commence the cleanup of the place because it has been flagged off. We were thinking that when you flag off, the equipment would have been on ground. People would have been there to start work immediately. Is that not? But nothing is going on there. So, but we know that the current president is going to do it because he's a man of integrity. Now, if you go to Ogoni today to see what is happening there, you weep for the people. I think that is the more reason the Ijos are a bit skeptical. That what happened to Ogoni, what happened to Oloribiri, should not happen to them. In my community, Kokori Eland, in Ethiopia East, and Samagidi, the same time they discovered oil at Ogoni in 1958, they discovered oil in my community. As I speak with you, kids sit on the bare floor to take lessons and to take lectures in my community, on the bare floor. Earlier this year, some of you in my community, they took photographs of those children, sitting on the bare floor, and it was on social media. It went viral. Some of us, we wrote articles in the newspapers and on social media, urging the state governor, Senator Ifeanyi Okowa, to please send his commissioner to go and inspect the school and see what they can do. Now, you also have the oil companies in those communities. ExxonMobil is there, Shell is there, they are all there. Now, their social corporate responsibility to the host communities is now reflecting on the lives of the people.
Talk to us about what sometimes they bandy out there as though it emanated from the IOCs, that when they want to perhaps develop some of those areas, you see different groups come up trying to claim territorial rights and saying you have to pay us royalties before you're allowed to do anything. So when one group arises and you have groups at 5, 6 is unending. So they say it becomes difficult for them to do anything. You heard about that before?
Yes. Now, you look at it. There is a kind of dirty politics that is going on in the Niger Delta. Okay? And I largely blame the governors because those agitations of these youths, even the Avengers, you saw recently when the governors met with the vice president. One of the things they said was that they should withdraw charges against some people in the South-South, which to me is a very frivolous demand.
You could say that on authority.
Yes, that is wrong. That is not what the issue of the Niger Delta is all about. Now, if the governors knew their onions and they are quite, familiar with the terrain and they know what the people want, why should it be that the small kids around the street that will gather themselves and say that we are the people that you should come and talk to when you want to develop the region? Remember, there was a time they had the South-South Governors Forum during Bori era, and they were holding these meetings from, place to place. And they were able to work with the community leaders in those areas to shop up the derivation, 30% derivation that we are enjoying today.
What went wrong?
What went wrong was that some people infiltrated into that South-South Governors Forum, and we were told whether some northern oligarchy didn't quite like the idea because, the demands were not favorable to some people at the top. And then they did all they could do to dissolve that South-South Governors Forum. So today there's no more South-South Governors Forum. Yeah, but you still have the Northern Governors Forum. Why? So if the governors in the South-South were organized and they are working with the community leaders to put their demands on the table with the federal government, it will be easier and cheaper.
No, but there's freedom of association in this country. And these are governors we're talking about. So if governors say no, we want to keep having our meetings, why will anybody stop them?
That's right. So that's why we're also calling on the governors of the South-South Forum, governors of the South-South region or geopolitical zone, to keep away, political affiliations from this issue of the Niger Delta. Whether you are PDP governor, you are APC governor, the people elected you for development purpose. So keep party politics aside, regroup, because now that the problem is on now, if we had that forum in place, that would have been a very nice springboard to start with. It's a question of Mr. President calling on the Governors Forum of the South-South to say, gentlemen, these are your boys. These are the same boys they use for, elections. You know that. These are the same boys. They know them to their homes. They know them to their villages.
The thing is that I don't think so many people are satisfied with your answer to what Chamberlain has asked. The thing is, sometimes the IOCs, they have the intention of fixing some of these communities.
Yes.
We've even seen, as journalists, sometimes you're trying to go beam your searchlight on some devastation in some communities.
Yes.
And people in those communities either, lay siege, even almost kill you
yes.
for trying to show some kind of devastation that has been caused to their communities.
Yes.
It is the same thing the IOCs are complaining about. How is it that those in the Niger Delta region, sometimes when help is on the way, some people kick against such help?
That is where I just told you that.
Because you're making it look as if it's the governors that they should talk about the Governors Forum, but we're talking about the people. Let's say the political class is,
yes.
Is unaware
yes.
or is deaf to what exactly is happening to the people.
Yes.
What happens to the people?
That's why I'm saying that the governors has failed. Who is the governors? I'm coming.
If they have failed,
yes.
the people shouldn't fail. They should be arms wide open and say, hey, welcome to our community.
Yes.
Fix it for us.
Yes.
But sometimes they still kick against it.
They kick against it because of, in Niger Delta we have a lot of ethnic groups.
Many.
Languages, different kinds of people and culture.